Okay, we're back with Chapter 7, and now we're going to go through the Chapter 7 review. The first thing we're going to do for the Chapter 7 review is we're going to graph these exponential functions. And that's just going to be done in our calculator. And we're going to see which one of these kind of matches our calculator. So we're going to do y equals, and we'll clear out whatever we have in there. And if I look back, the function is 4 to the x power. So it's 4 raised to the x power. There's 4 to the x. And then press graph. Now if your window's off, remember zoom, and 6, the standard. So zoom 6 will go back to the original standard window. So it looks like this one's coming out of the x-axis and then raising upward. This one comes out of the x-axis and goes downward. That's no good. This one's 4 units above. This one's a few units below. It looks like D is our correct answer. So for number 19, the answer is D. That was pretty simple. Well, maybe. Let's try this again. Love technology when it works. D. It's fine with our nice blue screen. Okay. Let's go to number, that's not even close. Let's go to, it took me off the page, okay. There we go. Let's go to number 20. All right, graph the function again. We're going to do the same thing. This time we have to be careful. We have to put it in parentheses, okay? So just be careful with how you use this. All right, number 20, it's 8 times 1/3 to the x power, so y equals, and we're going to clear this out. It's 8, and then I'm going to put this in parentheses, 1/3 raised to the x power, okay? And then I graph it. Okay, again, you want the graph that you have in your calculator to look like it looks on the screen. The only one that looks remotely close to this is this one, okay? And that appears to be letter B. So this one is B, okay? Hopefully you guys can all see that pretty well. All right, number 21. Write the equation in logarithmic form. And this is where I said you guys can have a note card. This might be one you want to have handy. Remember, it's b to the x power is equal to y is the same as the log base b of y is equal to x. Notice that the base is always the base. But the exponent gets moved till after the equal sign, and what it's equal to comes inside the logarithm. So for this one here, it's going to be the log base 2, the exponent goes after the equal sign, and so our 32 goes here. So it looks like that's B. Okay. (22) is going the opposite way. So again, it's the same thing. My base is 4, my exponent's -2, and it equals 1/16. So that's D. Evaluate the logarithm. That I would plug directly into my calculator. Now, again, if you have the 83, it's a little bit different. So we've got the log base 5 of 1/625. Okay? So let me show you how to do it 2 different ways. Okay? So let's clear this out. If I have to do it using the change of base formula, it's log and then 1/625. So it's always the number that's up here in the logarithm, okay, divided by the log of 5. And that should give me -4, which it does. Now, if you have this newer calculator, if you hit the math button and you go up, log base is all the way down at the bottom there, and you can actually type it in just the way you see it. And that should give us the exact same answer, okay? So either way, our answer for 23 is C. And it's the same thing for graphing a logarithmic equation. So for number 24, when we go to graph it, we're just going to plug it in the calculator exactly the way that we see it. So we're going to do log base 3 of x. Let's clear this out. Y equals, clear, log, and I'm going to hit math, log base 3 of x. Now remember, if you have the 83, you have to do log x divided by log 3. Okay? So I'll press enter. We'll graph that. And this graph looks exactly like letter C. And so that's why we're going to go ahead and choose letter C. Okay? '25, we have another graph. Now the nice thing here is in either calculator, we can type it in the same way because we just have to hit the log button. Remember that's log base 10. So it's y equals, let's clear this out, log x plus 1 minus 7. And hopefully after doing enough graphing, you know that this graph should be shifted down 7. So when I graph this, hopefully you see that it's been shifted down 7. So this looks a lot like letter A. So this one, 25, is A. Okay? '26, rewrite this as a signal logarithm. Now before I do anything, I have to deal with these numbers out front. Now remember, the numbers out front are exponents. So if I have something like this, A times log base B of x, this is the same as the log base B of x to the A power. And so that's what this is going to become. Log base B of q to the third power plus log base B of v to the sixth power. And then if I'm going to combine those, I combine them based on multiplication. So this is log base B of q to the third times v to the sixth. So that's A. Expand the logarithm. We expand division by subtraction. So if I had the log base B of m divided by n, this is the same as log base B of m minus log base B of n. Okay? So this turns into log base 3 of d, the number that's on top, always comes first, minus log base 3 of 12. Okay? So that's A. A lot of A's here. Same thing, number 28, we have to expand. Okay, we're going to expand the multiplication first, so log base 3 of 11 plus log base 3 of p to the third. But remember, that third power comes out front. So this is the same as log base 3 of 11 plus 3 times log base 3 of p. So that's C. Okay. This one, directly in the calculator, log base 81 of 3. I'll show you using the change of base formula. So it's log 3 divided by log 81. And that's 0.25. If we have to change it to a fraction, it's 1 over 4. So the answer to that one is B. Okay? Solving the exponential equation, the easiest way to do this is to rewrite it as a logarithm. So this is the log. Remember, our base is the same. So the base is 64 of 1 over 16 is equal to 4x minus 3. Okay? So I'm going to figure out what the base, log base 64 of 1/16 is. I'm going to use this math button this time. Log base 64 of 1 over 16. Press enter, and I'm going to change that to a fraction. So that's negative 2/3. So I have negative 2 over 3 is equal to 4x minus 3. Then I'll add 3 to both sides. And you can do that directly in your calculator. So if I take my calculator out and I put plus 3, now that's 7 over 3. So I get 7 over 3 equals 4x. And then I will divide both sides by 4. So if I take that 7 over 3 and I divide it by 4, that will give me my answer, which is 7 over 12. So the answer is x equals 7 over 12, which is C. All right, same thing for this one. Log base 4 of 8 equals 4x. So we have to figure out what the log base 4 of 8 is. So let's clear that out. Math, log base 4 of 8 that would be 1.5, so I would say 1.5 equals 4x. I would divide that by 4, and I would get x is equal to, so let me divide this by 4, divide it by 4. It looks like all my answers are fractions, so I want to change that to a fraction. So it's 3 over 8. So x is 3 over 8, which is again C. Same thing for the last one. Log base 125 of 150 is equal to 9x minus 2. Now the bad thing about this one is it's going to be an ugly fraction. It's not going to be nice and neat like the last one. So the bad thing is it's an ugly fraction, or ugly decimal, I should say. It's not even a fraction. So I'm going to use the change of base formula on this one. For those of you using the TI-83, we have to do log 150. Let's try that again. Log 150 divided by log 125. If you just put in the base formula or the calculator, you'll get the same thing. I get 1.0378. 1.0378 equals 9x minus 2. I'll add 2 to both sides. I get 3.0378 equals 9x. Okay, so I took this and I added 2 to it. And then obviously I'm going to divide both sides by 9. So that gives me 0.3375 as x. So x is about 0.3375. And we use these little squiggly lines when we approximate, when we round off. You don't have to do that. It obviously won't be on your test. I just figured you'd like to know that. All right, next one, number 33. All right, now we have to solve the logarithmic equation. So to solve that equation, I'm going to go ahead and put this back together. What I mean by that is I'm going to get this log by itself. Let's say that a little bit better. So I have 3 log of 2x equals 4. I want this log of 2x by itself, so I'm going to divide both sides by 3. So I have the log of 2x is equal to 4 over 3. Well, remember, if there is no base, the base is 10. So if I want to rewrite this as an exponent, which is what I want to do now, this is 10 to the 4 over 3 power equals 2x. And I don't know what 10 to the 4 over 3 power is, so that's what my calculator is for. 10 raised to the 4 over 3 power. Now, if you have the TI-83, you'll probably have to put that 4 over 3 in parentheses. That's 21.544. So we'll divide that by 2, and we'll get what x is. We're going to take this number, we'll divide it by 2, and we get x is 10.7722. 10.7722 equals x. So that looks like letter A. Okay, so there's number 33. Number 34. 34, we're going to put together, remember we put subtraction together by making it division. So this is the same as saying the log of x plus 9 over x is equal to 3. And then rewrite it as an exponent. 10 to the 3rd power equals x plus 9 over x. So that means 1,000, and I'm going to put that over 1 equals x plus 9 over x. So I can cross multiply 1,000x equals x plus 9. Then I'm going to move the x. So 1,000x minus 1x is 999x, and that equals 9. So if I divide by 999, I get what x is. Whatever 9 divided by 999. 0.0090. So that's also A. Number 35. Okay, E is the same as L or log base. I'm sorry. Log base E is the same as ln. So if I have this, that's the same as this. And so that's what we're going to use. That's how we're going to rewrite it as a logarithm. So the first thing I would do with this one is I would divide both sides by 8. And I would get e to the 4x minus 8 is equal to 15 over 8. And then I would take the natural log. I would rewrite this as a logarithm. Natural log of 15 over 8 is equal to 4x minus 8. Now this is going to be, again, a nice ugly decimal for us. Natural log 15 over 8 is 0.6286. So 0.6286 equals 4x minus 8. So I'll add 8 to both sides. So I get 8.6286 equals 4x. I will divide by 4, and I'll get what x is. Whatever that is divided by 4. So I'm going to add 8 to this, and then divide it by 4. And I get 2.157. So x is 2.157. That's D. All right, number 36 is actually a little bit easier because we just have to take the natural log. We just have to say ln of 1.4 equals 2x. So whatever that is, if I would divide it by 2, that'll give me what x is. So I'm going to do the natural log of 1.4, ln 1.4. I'm going to divide that by 2, and I get 0.1682. So 0.168, so that's C. Okay? And I think that's the end of Chapter 7, but let me double check. Yep, that's the end of Chapter 7. Good luck.